Okay, good morning, guys. This is the first part of our tutorial, which is based on object-oriented programming. And as you've seen from the PDF, we are going to separate our plan into different parts. And now we are on the first one, which is the part 1. Yeah, this is where we are. We are on the part 1. And we'll be looking at the introduction and the introduction to PHP and the prerequisites. When we talk of PHP, PHP is simply a server scripting language to create dynamic and interactive web content or interactive content that can interact or that can communicate with the database. And PHP is also a server-side scripting language or a server-side programming language. This simply means that in order for you to run or visualize or see a PHP program or PHP code or the output of a PHP code, you simply need a server to be installed in order for you to view it. So what are some of these prerequisites, the things that are needed for you? What are some of the things that are needed for you in order for you to view or to run a PHP program? The first thing you need a server. And in this case, we are going to use the WAM server. As I showed you earlier, we're going to use the WAM server here. Now, the next thing you also need a web browser. A web browser simply permits you to visualize what has been written in the code. It permits to show the output. And in this case, we are going to be working with Mozilla Firefox. There are other web browsers such as Google Chrome, Internet Explorer, Opera, and so on. We are going to work with Firefox. I also gave the link to download the latest version of Firefox. Now, you also need some basic concepts on HTML. Like I said, basic concepts like permitting to display some information, going to new line, and so on. We'll be working with some of those concepts. The next thing, you also need general knowledge about computer programming, like a general knowledge. You must not be a programmer in order for you to know PHP. We need to start from somewhere, yeah, and just the interest itself is enough. So those are some of the prerequisites with respect to PHP. For now, we'll need also Notepad++. Where is it? We'll need Notepad++. So if you've not installed it, you can still install it now. And PHP Storm. PHP Storm is simply an integrated development environment for PHP that helps you to easily code or easily program with PHP. But if you want to start from scratch, we can use Notepad++. But for those for educational purpose, we are going to use Notepad++ and PHP Storm. So you see how the two can work together. Let me pause. The next thing we are going to see is PHP and the domain of utilizations. PHP is a very popular web programming language, or a very popular programming language that can be used in different domains, such as desktop applications. You can realize or develop an application or a software that can be installed on a computer simply using PHP. Also, you can design or realize or develop a website using PHP. Also, web applications as well. Most of you use Facebook, but you don't know that Facebook was a program using PHP. We have the Facebook, Wikipedia, Yahoo, and WordPress. They were all developed using PHP. PHP can also be used to encrypt data. When we talk encrypt data, simply securing data. It has different hash techniques and hash functions that you can use to protect your information. You can also use PHP to restrict access of certain content of your website or certain content of your project from other users. For example, if you don't want users to have access to administrative panels or administrative sections, you can use PHP to also do that. You can modify data and elements in your database simply using PHP. You can gather information from a form and submit it, maybe send it through an email. You process the information or you return the information using PHP. You can also perform other system functions, such as maybe creating a file using PHP, as creating, reading, deleting using PHP. We have an example of maybe there's a form submission where users fill an information. You receive that information, you create a zip file, and then store that information inside. So that's what we mean by simply system functions. So those are some of the utilizations, and there are also so many. So we are going to move now to the last part of this first tutorial, setting up your programming environment. When we talk of setting up your programming environment, it entails first of all installing a web browser. We've already installed our web browser here. For me, I have the Firefox 64 version, so you can download it. I recommend you download the latest version. So now we are going to install our WAM server. So let me launch it. But also, before installing this WAM server, I'll advise you install this Microsoft. Let me come here. You have to install this VCC redistributable. Now this WAM server needs these two to be installed. If your operating system is a 64-bit, then you can download this x64. If it is 32 bits, then you download this x86. If you read somewhere along, you realize that there's a place where they have asked for this. No, I didn't check it. Okay, it's already installed. Now you can download it from these links. I'm going to share this inside the group, so you can download it here, because if you don't have it, you have problems running the WAM server. Now we install it. Okay, this is it. You should make sure you're up to date with the redistributable packages VC9, VC10, and so on. And it also gives you the link where you can download it somewhere here. So these are the links where you can download and install. So you need it before installing WAM server. So you simply launch the installation. Now we are going to install PHP Storm. I've already installed my own PHP Storm. This is the interface of PHP Storm. You install it, and then the next one now is Notepad++. You install Notepad++ as well. I've already installed mine, so you install it on your computer. So now, assuming everybody has installed, without wasting much time, I'll come back when. Okay, so when your installation is complete, though, you see this message: do you want to choose another browser, and so on. You click on no. Do you want to choose another text editor? You click on no, and then the installation is going to finish. Okay. Okay, now the installation is complete. You click on next and then finish. Now you realize, if we go back to the desktop, you realize that the shortcut was created. So you simply launch the program, you double click and then click on yes. You need administrative privileges to launch a program. Now while you immediately launch the program, you realize that this is red. It needs to turn green in order for your environment to be ready. It needs to turn green. Now if it does not turn green, you simply click on it and then click that. You just wait first of all for it to turn green because it's starting the server. If it does not turn green, you click on it and then you select start all services. Now it's green and then your server is ready, so your PHP codes can be executed. You simply click on it and then you choose localhost. Okay, this localhost is going to open here. Let's run it with Firefox. I prefer Firefox. Okay, so this is how your installation or your web browser is going to display afterwards. So we'll come back to this later. So in order for you to access these files, you can still click here and then you come to www directory. You click on it, or you simply come to my computer, you open drive C. Inside drive C you find WAM64. This WAM64, you open it and then you come, there is a folder called www. You click inside. Now you realize that here we have series of files, WAM language, WAM themes, and so on. Well, for now these files are not really that important. So you can just create maybe a new folder X. X, you copy everything inside. So leave this index, we'll come back to it. You copy everything inside and then you paste. So we have now just this index. When you come now and refresh, you refresh your browser, you realize we have errors and so on. Don't be scared. We can still copy this index and put, but we'll come back to it. Now the PHP file has an extension .php. So let me come back and display something. It has an extension .php, so your file can simply be, let's say file.php. that's the extension of a PHP file. You can create your own .php file. You go to new text file and then you put maybe mine. Okay, you realize now that this mine is not a .php file for now, because the type here is text document. So in order for you to view the extension, you simply come to view here. But if you can't find this menu, you press F10 on your keyboard. You go to view, you come to options, you go to view again, you scroll down to hide extension of known files. Now you realize that the extension here is not showing. You choose hide extension of known files, you click on apply, and then okay, you realize that the extension is going to show now. You simply come delete this one and then you put PHP, you validate. So that's just like the easiest way. So now this index is like the main file. We'll come back to the index file later. So for now, what I just wanted to show you people is how the extension of a PHP file, how to install and configure your environment. So when you come now and launch back this, or you refresh, you realize that you have that X folder and mine. The same, if you click on that X folder, let's come back to this. If you click on this mine, it's going to open the content of that PHP file, but that PHP file you created has nothing inside. So this is the PHP file, and then this is your server. If you come back again here and then you launch your local host, you realize that this is your server, but there's no project, there's no file or no main project to be executed. So it's now left for you to create the other files and put inside. So that's really all about setting up your environment for now. So in the next tutorial, we are going to move to creating a PHP file and the basic syntax of PHP. So for now, we are done with these three. We'll come back now to the next one in the next tutorial. Thank you.